If you clicked on this video, chances are that you're a parent of a child who is in some form questioning their gender identity or even their sex, and you're looking for some guidance. Welcome. My name is Artemis, and I am a biological female who, at the age of 31 and after careful reflection, underwent hormone replacement therapy with testosterone and completed a double mastectomy to masculinize myself. You could call me a transsexual, although today many use the term transgender. Though this is not quite accurate, and at some point you may learn the difference, for now it's important to say that many youth are being pushed into medical treatment for claiming that they are transgender, a term that they don't fully understand, while statistically speaking, this isn't the best for them. With the information that I'm compiling, I hope to help you and your children avoid choices that are not suited to their troubles, and instead alleviate the source of their discomfort by helping you to help them explore their claims in other ways. I've been through the system, so to speak, and continue education on the current social, psychological, and medical phenomena that is transgenderism or transsexualism. I'm going to give you some helpful pointers you can use to understand and communicate with your child on the subject, and depending on when you find this video, it will be part of a playlist you can use to continue broadening your understanding in order to help your child, yourself, and maybe even others navigate this topic as harmlessly as possible. In the past, these sorts of existential questions would have been dealt with without medical intervention, and perhaps also without the intrusion of the legal system. Here in the United States and in some other countries, this sort of questioning can now come with both, leading to devastating effects, and I empathize with the position you may be in as a result. While it is my personal wish that individuals truly in need of medical intervention for their gender dysphoria do receive it, the fact is that such individuals are estimated to be less than 1% of the population. While the lives of the 1% are valuable, the other 99% of children are at risk of irreversible damage with the current affirmation-only treatment model used by mental health professionals when a child says they are uncomfortable with their sex. Perhaps now, more than ever, gaining the skills and knowledge to guide your children in this way is necessary. I think one of the most important things to keep in mind is that for children under 16 years especially, they likely do not yet possess the vocabulary or comparative experience to describe how they are thinking and feeling. This does not mean that their feelings are wrong. Feelings cannot be wrong. Only facts can be wrong. And so it's important to first listen to what they are saying to encourage the relationship. As parents, they need you to provide a framework from which they can explore and find what best suits them. But they won't talk to you if you're only listening to respond with doubt or denial. When you became aware that your child was struggling with this, you may have also realized at the same time that maybe you didn't feel prepared to handle such a task. What you do feel is intense worry for your child in making the potential wrong decision and being negatively impacted for the rest of their life. You may have tried expressing this worry to your child, or even flat out denying your child's claims in an attempt to stop them from, as you see it, making a mistake. First, I'd like to empathize with your worry. As a parent, it's healthy to be concerned with your child's well-being. You have so much love and investment in your child that you likely would do anything for them. Second, the skills of managing our own emotions, structured exploration of our internal landscape, and objective problem solving were not taught to most. While we cannot change the past, we can assume responsibility for the present once we become aware of the problem. I'd like you to think back to the time when you were a child and your parents told you a cold no, or perhaps consistently were telling you that they were worried about you. Do your best to think about it from the mental space of your childlike mind, and not from the perspective you have now. If nothing else, you may be able to get in touch with a feeling of frustration, anger, or upset, maybe even sadness or despair at hearing your parents' expression of worry or flat denial of your ideas or wants. Even as an adult, if you feel these things when someone talks to you, would you be able to appreciate the advice or command, let alone follow it? If you're like most people, the answer is no. To complicate matters further, these might be terribly uncomfortable subjects for your child to talk about, let alone to someone they may fear punishment from. So, if you want to reach your child, it starts with building trust. While there is some validity to saying a child needs you as a parent and not a friend, the two are not mutually exclusive. They may be dependent on you to give them firm structure and boundaries, and they also need to be shown respect as an individual at the level of their understanding. If your child comes to you saying they are transgender, remember our initial important point, which is that they may not fully understand the words they are trying to communicate their experience with, though they may have a strong opinion that they certainly do. They know that something within them needs explained and expressed, and this is your opportunity to help. Whether you are familiar with the definitions of the words they're using or not, the best course of action is to be curious. You are supposed to be the adult with the stable emotional foundation, able to hold space for your child's uncomfortable feelings so they can explore, like an anchor that holds a ship in place in choppy seas. You don't have to know right away what's best for them or immediately diagnose what they want or who they are. It's a process that takes place through the years, and if you build a foundation of trust with your child, you can explore it together. One of the facets of building trust comes from showing true interest in what they share with you and giving them tools to navigate it when you're not there, without telling them that they are wrong or consistently communicating worry about what they say. Many generations of people grew up thinking that love was expressing worry or concern for someone, or bluntly pointing out if they thought someone was wrong, or denying them permission to do something. The trouble is that the child may see your denial and worry as indicators that it isn't okay to be who they are, whatever it is or ends up being, and this discourages them from wanting to talk to you at all. Without the ability to communicate, you may find yourself in a situation where a child hides what they want until the legal age of consent at 18, where they are then able to pursue the medicalization and still within a window of time to make choices that they may later regret due to their ongoing brain development. I don't think it can be stressed enough that it is crucial as the parent to adopt a mindset of I support you, and I will help you find tools to be the healthiest version of you possible. This is so different from simply going along with whatever the child says without question, i.e., of course we will find you a doctor to give you medications. It's also different than questioning the child with the intent to cast doubt. For example, are you really sure that you need to try to change your sex? And of course, is nothing like, you're not transgender, you're a boy or a girl. Even though stating of obvious fact may be tempting. Worse if that's followed by, and don't be stupid or ridiculous. That gets into narcissistic abuse. If your child says, I am transgender, an example question to both gain their trust and learn more about their inner world would be, well, that sounds pretty interesting. Could you tell me all about how you came to that conclusion? I'd love to hear it. Depending on what kind of relationship you've created with your child, keep in mind that it may have taken them a lot of courage to make such a claim, so attempt to be sensitive to that possibility. In fact, by the time you come to this conversation, they may not want to talk to you more about it at that time, and are simply using that statement to test a little bit of self-differentiation, aka, I am a separate person. Following up with, it's okay if you don't want to talk about it now, I just want you to know that I'm here to help and I always want to know more. As the parent, it will be your job to continue checking in at times in ways that are upbeat and non-confrontational to avoid neglect of the situation. Perhaps easier said than done. If you're feeling frustrated or despairing about trying to hide your emotions from your child in order to be a trusted source for them, I would highly recommend listening to the YouTube channel Therapy in a Nutshell and her coursework playlist on emotional regulation. I'll have a link in the description below. In order to be there for your child, it's absolutely essential to have a good handle on your own emotions. Having these skills will improve other areas of your life too. And if you would like more one-on-one help in any way, I offer personalized guidance and can be contacted through my website at withinguidance.com, link below. along with a direct email address if you wish. To continue exploring the transgender phenomena so that you can be prepared to answer your child's questions, you can click on the playlist link here on the screen. And I'll see you in the next video.